Come on, give me a mutation, please. Irradiated. Keep pushing it. Keep pushing it. Wait for that mutation. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fallout 76, and I'm going to do another how-to type video. We're going to do some experimentation today. What have I got in store for you? Mutations. Now, these are amazing things that can happen to you if you let yourself get irradiated. One of the ways to do that, hop in one of these. I did it wearing a hazmat suit, and within a few seconds, I was maxed out, and you can earn random mutations, some of which have negative effects, but generally they're positive. Now, the problem is, anytime you take Rat away to get rid of this ridiculous radiation that you just got, you have a very good chance of losing the hard-earned mutation. So, if we have a look here, Chameleon, invisible in combat if unarmored and stationary. I will never be unarmored in combat, so I don't think that is going to be of much help for me. Besides, you can go ahead and get armor that will go ahead and chameleonize you, basically making you invisible. So I don't want that mutation. What we need to do is clear ourselves of it. Now, there are a couple of ways to do that. First of all, take Rat away, and that has a good chance of doing it. There's a problem with that, though. Obviously, you don't want to burn through all your Rat away experimenting, trying to get a good-looking mutation. So instead, what we're going to do is wander through this location, which is West Tech Research Facility, the home of all super mutants in Appalachia, and we are going to go from here to grab some decontamination arches that will clear us of our radiation. I believe they will also cure our current mutation. So then there's another trick. Once we are done this, what do you do once you've got a mutation you like? How do you avoid losing it? You have recovered from your chameleon mutation. So there's the problem. You have to get intensely irradiated in order to get the mutation, and then what? What do? We need to go back into the place, and we need to get a new, fresh mutation. Some you'll like, some you won't like. The problem is when you get them randomly, usually you got to cure yourself of that ridiculous radiation. And that has a very good chance of removing the mutation. So how do we make the most of that? I think you're going to want a perk, and we are going to be basing today's plan ideally around the starched genes perk. Now I've saved up a couple of levels here. Aha! Here you go, guys. It is a luck perk, and it seems to have 2 tiers to it, so I can go ahead and spend 2 levels on it today. If we pick this, but don't equip it, you will never mutate from Rat away and never cure mutations. This is what we want. So what we're going to do is, we're going to go ahead and pick that. So let's go ahead and pick Starched, and we're going to be able to make our mutations permanent. So, yes, I would level that up. Perfect. And then, let me have a look here. Unused. Okay, so those have not been equipped yet. So in order for us to perfectly do this, what I want to do is get irradiated, get a mutation I like, then take the starched genes perk and walk through the decontamination arches that exist in this place. And when we do that, that will allow us, hopefully, to keep our mutation. This toxic goo seemed like the most possible fun way to go ahead and get yourself irradiated. So while wearing a hazmat suit, just because I don't know how bad this will be, that's doing it. That is doing it. Uh-huh. Yep, did I get mutated? I don't know that I did. No. Okay, well, let's try out those decontamination arches. BRB. You have gained Talons. Okay, let's take a look. Agility -4. Ooh, plus 25 unarmed damage and bleed damage. No, I'm gonna keep going until I get super jumping ability. Okay, you have recovered from the Talons mutation. This is essentially right off the main entrance, right here. This is where you come into when you come to West Tech. Through here, with this computer, you activate the decon arches, and here, ideally, is where we can experiment with mutations, because right under here is toxic goo. Now, I have gone ahead and added it to my hotbar. Now, I have done this like dozens of times and not getting a whole lot of mutations. So I have just picked up a lovely tidbit of information. You are not able to get mutations twice in the same gaming session. If you want, you need to leave and come back. When I was playing earlier, I got a mutation. I actually got disconnected and logged back in, shortly got another mutation immediately after, Chameleon and Talons. But since then, I have been trying to get a mutation over and over and over, and it's not working. So if you've got the mutation you like and you want to stack it with another one, or you've had one and you cured it while trying to get another, then what you've got to do is leave and come back. I am still eager to get one of the great mutations, the speed one or the jumping one. So if I get that sorted, I will be back and keep trying this. It is so worth it to go for these mutations, folks. I don't know if the first half of my video was useful to you. I know it was very difficult for me to get through the learning curves of how these mutations work, but the real trick is that you have to log in and log back out, whether you decide to keep the mutation or not. And I think you have to get to around level 40 before you can get the Starch Genes perk, and you're going to want to use 2 levels and immediately get to level 2, so it is a foolproof thing. If you have that perk applied, you will never get a new mutation, and you will never lose any mutations. If you decide to take it off, you're back to normal, and you will clear any mutation you want by stepping into the decontamination arches. So, after leaving the first half of the video, I decided to turn off my mic, and I'd just flick on my screen recorder anytime I got a cool mutation. These are the ones that I came across. Now, I'm going to make a list and pin it to the top of the comments of all of the possible mutations. I would love to hear from you what sequence and stack of mutations you want to get, because that's exactly what I focused on doing. So, a couple of tips if you decide to use West Tech as your mutation headquarters. It is loaded with super mutants. Now for me, I did this around level 40 to 47. If I were to spawn in anywhere but West Tech and fast travel here, I would run into enemies very close to my level. If I logged out right at West Tech, and then immediately started a new session and rejoined a server, the enemies would be level 5 and 10, and much easier to kill. I'd be able to one-shot snipe all the super mutants on the outside, go stealth on the inside, and kill a few without having to clear out the whole inside of the West Tech Center. So, I began attempting to get the most epic stack of mutations I could. The first one I came across was Eagle Eyes, and without realizing I had it, I cleared myself of it. So head down to the comments. I don't have a screenshot of all the perks of that one. I didn't realize I had it and stepped into the arches. After that, the one I got was Egghead, and that is a really challenging one, guys. You lose 3 to Endurance, 3 to Strength, but you gain 6 Intelligence. That can be really useful when you're crafting weapons and things like that. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it, but I decided I would try and build a stack based on Egghead. The next one I got was Electrically Charged, which is a chance to deal energy damage to any attacker. I decided that Egghead plus a melee-based mutation didn't really make sense. So I took off the Starch Genes perk, I stepped in and cleared it, and decided I would start fresh. Logged out, logged back in, and over again I had to keep killing super mutants. The next one I got was Twisted Muscles. Now, that one is amazing if you are going to play mainly using melee. It is a fantastic one, but at this point in the game, I had taken Rifleman and Expert Rifleman and Master Rifleman, and I'd leveled them all up. I had the Sniper perk, and I was really focused on using those single-shot rifles and killing from a distance. That's basically how I would clear out the West Tech parking lot every time I logged out and logged back in. So as cool as Twisted Muscles is, I decided it wasn't for me. I stepped in and I cleared it and decided we would start the stack anew. Then I got Adrenal Reaction. This is a tough one, because you have minus 50 total health. At the time, I had only about 280 health, and without knowing what mutation I would get next, I decided I wasn't going to keep Adrenal Reaction. If I had known which ones I was going to get, I probably should have kept Adrenal Reaction. I wish it was part of the stack that I had now. The next thing I got, I think, was Healing Factor, which gives you 300% faster health regen. The downside is chems, like Buff Out, give you much less of a boost, a little under half, so you get, say, 0.9 strength instead of 2 strength when you take Buff Out. It's a downside, but the plus 300 health regen is epic, so I decided to build a stack around that. The next thing I got was Unstoppable Isotope, a chance to deal irradiation damage to melee attackers, and of all of the ones in this class, this one that allows you to deal random damage to melee attackers, I like Unstoppable Isotope the most because a mini mushroom cloud happens when you get attacked sometimes, and a small nuclear explosion happens directly in front front of you. The downside to that is that you will be dealt some radiation damage. However, I ended up taking a perk, I think it's called Sun-Kissed or something like that, that basically if I'm out between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., all my radiation just gets slowly drained and my health bar fills up. So, especially with healing factor, that really wasn't a problem. And then the third one I got on top of that was Carnivore, which means no chance of ever getting a disease from meat, and meat is twice as effective. You get 2 times the benefits. That is such an awesome one. I eat a lot of meat. If you're a player in this game, I imagine you do too, because meat comes with some pretty epic bonuses. You get extra strength, extra perception, extra endurance, depending on which kind of meat you eat. So Carnivore, for me, was super worth it. I decided to stop at those 3. Every time you do this, guys, it's like putting all your money down on black and putting it all down and rolling again. So it's a tough one. Once I had 3 I liked, I was really afraid to go in and get another one that I hated that wouldn't work well with my character. I ended up with a stack of Carnivore, Healing Factor, and Unstoppable Isotope, and I've played probably 15 more levels since with that trio of mutations, and I really like it. So that is the strategy, and I think this West Tech location is a really good one to do it, at the very least from a lore perspective, because this is where the super mutants were created. This is the home of mutation, so this is where I wanted to do it, and it ends up not being a terrible place to clear out. You end up having to fight, I think there's almost always a legendary enemy here, and there's a suicider, so if you can snipe him, you pile up mini nukes like crazy coming back to this place over and over again. The question is, should I go back for more? And if you're going to do this, what's your stack? How many mutations are you going to get? I will mention that there is a perk you can choose called Class Freak that basically cuts the negative side of every mutation in half. So that is an option. You can also go and buy mutation serums after you've completed the Enclave questline, but that is a long questline. The serums are super expensive, and I think they're kind of buggy. So as far as I can tell, this is the best way to go about getting yourself mutations, farming them, stacking them, and getting a combination that really works for you. I like my combination. At this point in the game, I'm kind of itching to go back for more. Should I? And which one do you think would go best with the combo I already have? I'm going to call this a video, guys. I'm just experimenting with some tutorials for Fallout. Hopefully you will find them useful. If you do, hit me up in the comments. Let me know which mutations you like, which ones you have, if you've gone for a stack, if you're going to go to stack them now, and where you're going to do it, if it's anywhere other than West Tech. That's going to do it for this video, guys. I'm UniteTheClans. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to, I have some Let's Play episodes of Fallout where I goof off and have a lot of fun. Click on the playlist popping up on your screen to dive into those. Click on my face to subscribe, and click here for some of the other tutorials I am going to come up with on this game. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.